Artificial intelligence within photographic clubs is already opening up debate on how it's managed. It does have the ability to cause a fair degree of stress if my experience of club life is anything to go by. Now, there's always been debate about what constitutes an image that is all our own work or not. But AI generative fill does not just blur those lines, it really destroys them completely. Let's take a look at one or two examples of AI generation here that I've managed to create without any skills at all. Photoshop AI is being tested, and I've used that beta version for what you're about to see. It's not perfect in every scenario, but it's sufficiently impressive to make many of us take a step back and say, wow. Let's start with a picture of Point Cartwright, a well-known place on the Sunshine Coast. All I did here was to create a very quick oblong selection to tell the AI software where I wanted my subject. I then typed into a text field, add a woman in a bathing suit looking away. And this is one of the 3 versions that it gave me. It'll give you 3 different versions to choose from every time, but you can also choose to regenerate and create another 3 if the first 3 didn't work that well. The water tower and modern lighthouse can easily be removed with another oblong selection. But in the command where we normally add content, we just leave that blank, and this is the result. Now, I thought it would have been nice to have seen a more traditional lighthouse on that headland, and for AI, it's no problem at all. So with this bird, all I did was make a very simple selection, a little oblong just over the branch at the top right, and I asked for a lizard. And now we've got the bird looking at its possible dinner. Notice how the AI has created the lizard as soft as the branch it's sitting on. If it created it sharp, it wouldn't look authentic. With this misty landscape, I drew a simple oblong selection in the foreground and asked for a pond with reflections. Having done that and seeing how well it did it, and I've not edited these in any way whatsoever, I then asked the AI to add a deer. With this image, I have some lovely leading lines, but the lines don't actually lead anywhere that interesting. So I drew a selection just over that low roof shed on the right hand side, and I asked for a temple. Here I have quite a nice stormy beachscape, but there's not a great deal going on in the foreground. So I asked the AI to create a wooden shipwreck, and to position that wreck, all I did was made a simple oblong selection. Now, with this image taken in a historical village in England, I drew a selection in front of the shop doorway, and I asked for a woman in the 1890s. Now, this AI generative fill requires an internet connection because the complexity of this work is done presumably by an Adobe supercomputer in the clouds. Our image, when we ask the task to be completed, is taken up into the clouds, the AI does its work, and we get sent back the result. But it isn't slow. Here, Casey the horse seems to be missing in action, but if we make a selection of the shape that's open, we can create him with AI. Once again, a very simple selection made on the left hand side in a nice strong position, and I asked for an old wooden boat. The original image here was the top half. The white area you can see below is just extra canvas that I applied. But then I made a selection of just that white shape, very quick to do, and I asked the AI to generate water and include reflections. With this image, another simple square selection up in the far distance on this road, and I asked for a motorcycle, and the motorcycle was provided. I then made a selection closer towards us and I asked for a motorcycle slanted. I actually got two, but as you can see, AI has done a remarkable job. A fairly common comment you may hear in Camera Club circles is if you've got a number of different subjects, try to have one or three, not two or four. Okay, let's allow AI to add the third lion cub. Now the next three images are just a bit of fun. So I'm always starting off with a completed and fully edited image. And here again, another very simple oblong selection across the head of the otter, and I asked for a flat cap. With the bird, the bush turkey, I thought I would give her a bit of a regal look with a ring of pearls and that tiara. In none of these have I edited what the AI has done. And finally, we have an old truck in the desert in America. Can't remember exactly where it was now, but a nice place to introduce a UFO. Here we have a shot towards the Glasshouse Mountains on the Sunshine Coast. Now I believe these are the central cores of long extinct volcanoes. So maybe the area looked a little bit more like this 25 million years ago. Again, a simple selection was all that was required, and I asked for Mount Vesuvius. And following on from there, a simple oblong selection of the tree line, and I asked for water with a reflection. With this simple family snapshot of my son and daughter-in-law, I just made a selection, a simple oblong selection again, just to the left of that fence line they're leaning on, all the way to the left, and I asked for a majestic landscape with mountains and forests. So to all Camera Club committees and Camera Club judges, good luck.